It's so pretty. I think I bought 6 rolls of this, which should be enough. If it's not, I have some plain black mesh that I could work in to kind of fill it out a little bit. So I don't have any other colors or types of mesh to show you. We're just going to go with this pretty red and black mesh. Now this is from Crafters Square, which is a Dollar Tree brand, and it's just 6-inch decorative mesh. And for the ribbon, kind of like everything else with the ribbon, I wanted to keep it kind of simple. I didn't want to use bright, sparkly ribbon or decorations or anything in this wreath. I wanted to keep it kind of subdued and stick with that red and black color scheme. So I went up into my attic and I looked through my totes of wreath making supplies, and I found this roll of it's just plain red ribbon. It's 5/8 inch, just a plain red ribbon. There's a bunch of it on here. It's a lot of ribbon, so we have plenty of that. And I have 2 rolls of ribbon that I bought at Dollar Tree the same time I bought that mesh. They had this ribbon here. This is perfect. It's red and black plaid with little white snowflakes on it. Now that's only 9 feet, so I mean it's not a ton of ribbon. But we're only using it on one wreath, so it's okay. I don't have to spread it out over multiple wreaths. But it's so pretty. I love the little design on that ribbon. It's so pretty. It's all red and black plaid. And then I also have, now this ribbon is kind of like the big roll of ribbon I showed you a minute ago, but it also has these swirly little white snowflakes on it. It's not sparkly, like there's no glitter or anything on it, no metallic thread. It's just, it's like the snowflakes are swirling in the wind. I love it. Yeah, so there's that. And then, oh, I forgot I have one more. I don't know how I missed this. For a wider ribbon, I found this in my supplies. Now, I had a huge roll of sparkly red ribbon, but I didn't want a sparkly ribbon in this wreath. I wanted something with kind of a matte finish to it. I found this enormous roll of velvet ribbon. Now I have 90 feet of this. I'm not going to need anywhere near that much, but it's just a really pretty dark red velvet ribbon. It is very windy here today, so you may hear the wind blowing outside periodically. It's warm outside, but it's very windy. Yeah, it kind of matches my shirt a little bit. I love this color red. It's so pretty. So we can work in some of that. I don't really plan to put a lot of ribbon in this wreath. I mean, I want to have ribbon in it, but not like, some wreaths. I go crazy with the ribbon and I'll have tons of it in there. I'm not going to do that this time. Well, I'm going to try not to do that. We are going to be working with this 14-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree. It's just the regular old 14-inch wreath form that we usually use for these wreaths. And again, you'll notice that there are 4 rings here, 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 and here. We will not be using these 2 outer rings. We're going to be attaching everything to these 2 in the middle here. So yeah, it's just a little wreath ring. Sometimes at Dollar Tree you can find all different types of wreath forms. I've noticed in the last year they've really increased their variety of wreath forms, but you never know when they're going to have different things, so you kind of have to go in periodically to look. But this is like my go-to. This is the one we use the most, and we're using it today. Now, it may not look very big. If you've never seen me do one of these before, you may look at that wreath form and think that wreath is going to be kind of small. Oh no, since we're using the sunburst technique, the bundles that we're going to make for this wreath are going to really stick out. So it's going to be like, it'll be about that big when we're done. It'll be a pretty good size. Alright, so that is the ribbon. consist of decorative mesh and ribbon. It will probably need approximately 50 to 60 bundles for the wreath. So this will make up 50 bundles. If I need more of these pipe cleaners like this, I have some more up in the attic, but I'm thinking it will probably take up this entire pack right here. I don't think we'll go, I'm hoping we won't go beyond that, but if I need more, I have plenty more in the attic. And then we get into the decorations. Now, going through all the stuff I had a bunch of stuff in the attic that looked like it would work, but I also bought some stuff to decorate this wreath with, so I have a lot of things to choose from here. Now this is something I bought just recently. I bought these at Walmart. You see they have a little marijuana clip on them. I probably will not be using this though. Just like, they're like little berries with snow on them. They actually look real. I mean, to me it looks like real snow on there. It's very realistic. Probably what I'll do is take my wire cutters and cut these off and hot glue them down into the wreath. I don't think I would put them in there like this. I would cut that apart and place it in the wreath. So I think I have 2 of these little sprigs like this. And then up in the attic I found this stuff. I have these little tumors right here. I'm not really sure. It's just a generic cluster of stuff. I like the color though. I thought the color was really good for this wreath, that nice dark red. They're just little styrofoam balls that have been spray painted basically. I don't know that I'm going to use these because now that I look at them, when I'm going through my wreath supplies in the attic, if I find anything that I think might work, I just go ahead and bring it down so I have it in front of me while I'm picking what I want to use. But now that I see it, I don't know if I like it. I don't know. I may use it, I may not. And I also had this up there. I had this, it's like holly berries basically with the leaves. Now I really like this stuff. I had 2 branches of this stuff up in the attic. And I think what I'm going to do is, now even if I choose to use this, I won't use all of it because I have 2 bundles like this. Whatever I have left over, I'm going to cut with my wire cutters and place it in my red and gold Christmas tree downstairs because I think it would be really pretty either in this wreath or on my red and gold Christmas tree. So it's not going back up in the attic either way. It's very pretty. Look how shiny the berries are. I love that color. It's so cool. So I have this as an option. Oh, I bought a couple of these at Dollar Tree. It has a very pretty shiny jingle bell in there. I don't know that I'm going to place the jingle bell in there. I mainly bought it for this. I don't know, I might place it in there. Like, see, it has a little clip on it. I could possibly just clip it in there like that. I don't know. I don't know if I want jingle bells on this wreath or not. Because this wreath is going to go on a front door, and I think that would get annoying. It's really windy out there. I'm very glad to be in here. has Noel on it. I think I like this better. I do. I think this would look better. And it has pine cones and little berries and sprigs, like little pine sprigs on it. And it has that rough edge around it, like it's, you know, cut out. It's a tree, you know, like the tree rings. So, actually, I think I like this better. But I wanted to have everything in front of me so I could decide what I wanted to use. So I think we're going to put this in the middle of the wreath. That's pretty. Alright, so that is all of our materials. We won't be decorating the wreath until basically on over towards the end. fingers in, roll it up, place it with the other two. There's going to be a lot of that in this wreath. You're going to do them all the same. And we take our fourth and final piece of mesh for this particular bundle. Grab opposite corners and pull. Walk your fingers in. Roll it up, or, kind of gather it up, and then put them together. I think they'll kind of look pretty just like they are. Now I'm still holding. I make sure to hold all of them together. Now on top of these four pieces of mesh, we are going to place a wider piece of ribbon. You want to make sure to just hold on to it. It gets kind of slippery sometimes. I will put the widest piece of ribbon on top of the mesh. And now I'm holding that. And I'm going to select one piece of the skinny ribbon and place it on top. Like that. Now we are ready to put the pipe cleaner onto our bundle to hold it together. You're going to place it over the top perpendicularly this way, so it's kind of in the middle. Fold the ends under the bundle. Grab the whole thing like this and fold it in half. You're not going to damage it. And we have these two ends of the pipe cleaner. Bring those together. Twist them together at least 3 times. Once you've done that, you can let go of the bundle. Like that. Alright. That is a single bundle right there. And if you're using a 14-inch wreath form, and especially Dollar Tree mesh, because it tends to be more flimsy than, better, like more expensive mesh, you're going to need at least 50 bundles for a 14-inch wreath form. So you're going to have to make about 50 of these, maybe more, depending on how many pieces of mesh you have in each bundle. But that is the basic concept, and really you can take this idea and do anything with it. You can use different types of ribbon, different types of mesh. There's no limit to what you can do. Just showing you the basic concept. Okay, let's make another bundle. The mesh kind of sticks together. It's okay. And you're going to have lots of little pieces from the mesh. That's why it's good to have a trash can nearby to put this stuff in. So you take your approximately 9-inch piece of mesh. This one's all rolled up. You kind of unfold it. Grab opposite corners and pull them. Walk your fingers in. Twist it together. And you hold it between your fingers like that. You take your second piece and do the same thing. Pull it. You don't have to yank on it really hard. Just gently pull the opposite corners apart like this. Keep the tension in it. Roll it together. Place it with this first piece. Take a third piece. I cut this one a little bit short, but it's okay. It is no problem at all. We're just gonna kind of gather it together. Place it on top. Now we have 3 so far. Normally we're using different colors of mesh, so the bundles are a little bit more colorful, but I'm really curious to see how this wreath turns out. We've never done one with this kind of mesh before, so I think it's going to look really cool. Grab opposite corners, pull, kind of gather it all together in the middle, place it there. And again, I'm going to grab a larger, one of these wider pieces of ribbon here. Place it there. Use one of the skinny ribbons on top. Take my half of a pipe cleaner except for this ribbon right here. All the bundles are going to look kind of the same. Now you don't have to include ribbon in every bundle if you don't want to. You can just leave the ribbon out completely if you like. You can use as much or as little ribbon as you like in here. Sometimes, if I have a lot of ribbon, I will make a whole bundle that's nothing but ribbons. I might do like 4 or 5 bundles that are just ribbon, and then I'll just kind of distribute them evenly around the wreath so you have these little clusters of ribbon here and there. I think sometimes that looks really cute. But in this one, we're just doing them like this, and I probably will not include ribbon in every single bundle because I don't want it to be, you know, like too over the top. I want to keep it kind of understated and just focus on this red and black mesh here. Alright, let's do another one. Look, I have 4 pieces of mesh that wanted to stay together, so we'll keep them together. Again, you're going to grab the opposite corners and pull. And you just kind of twist it in the middle. And it makes your cute little bow tie. You take another piece, grab the opposite corners and pull. And then twist it together in the middle. Place it with the first one. Take a third piece, grab the opposite corners and pull. And twist it together and place it on top. And a fourth one, same thing. And again, just take one of these pieces of ribbon, and I'll use one of these red ribbons, the skinny ones. Place it on top. Grab your half of a pipe cleaner, lay it across the top perpendicularly, twist it under, and then I give it at least 3 twists underneath, and then let it go. Now it may look kind of stupid and ugly right now, but trust me, once we get it into the wreath, it's going to look really good. I'll tell you a little trick that I've learned. If you only have a little bit of something, like let's say I only have 5 pieces of this particular ribbon, and you want to make sure that it's not all just clumped up in one area of the wreath. When you're placing it on the wreath form, go ahead and make sure to deliberately place those particular bundles, you know, in different sections of the wreath form so they're not all right next to one another on the wreath. Sometimes I do tend to place all of, you know, I'll have a whole clump of a certain type of ribbon in one part of the wreath, and then I have to move them around so they look, it's a little bit more evenly distributed. So yeah, when I'm placing bundles on the wreath, typically I just place them all the way around. I make a habit of going around and not just doing this section and then this section and then this. I keep it going around as I go, and that seems to distribute them a little bit more evenly that way. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to attach our bundles to the wreath form. Alright, here we have our wreath form again. Now, this wreath form has a front and a back. The front is convex. It's sort of arches out this way. The underside is concave. This is the front. You can't really tell by looking at it, but now I have flipped it over, and we're going to be working on the back side of this wreath form because it's on these 2 pieces of wire that we're going to be attaching our bundles. Now, we are not doing decorations at this point. As I mentioned earlier, the decorations come at the end 6 sections. And you can see there are these wires that hold it together. There are 6 sections this size. So you're going to need about 8 to 10 of these per section. And we'll attach our third one as well. I like to have pipe cleaners that kind of match the colors of the wreath, but honestly it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to see these on the front of the wreath, so if you don't have pipe cleaners that match, it really doesn't matter. I just like for them to match. So once you flip it over, it looks like this. It's not really much to look at right now. It doesn't really look especially cool, but I'm going to continue making bundles and adding it to the wreath form. And when we come back, you'll get to see what it looks like with all of the bundles added. I have finished making all of the bundles. I actually did end up adding some just plain black mesh to it because I thought it would make it look a little bit extra special. I used all 7 rolls of mesh in the wreath and about a full roll of just plain black mesh. And here we have it. Now we have not decorated it yet. Now it's just red and black at this point, you see. It's just, I love it. And I worked in just some individual bundles with no ribbon, just the black mesh throughout, and I really like the way it looks. And here's how it looks on the back. You can see the red, the pipe cleaners going around. Now you see the size of the 14-inch wreath form. You can see that the actual wreath itself is going to be quite larger than that. So I think it looks really pretty just as it is. But now I'm going to go ahead and add my decorations to it, and then we'll come back and see the finished product. I have now added my decorations to the wreath. I think it turned out really cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I only added the little berries with the frost, like the snow on them, but I put them everywhere, like they're all around the wreath. They are tucked in and around everywhere. Up here I have the 2 skis with Noel on them. I applied that up here and I use hot glue to attach things to the wreath. I put the little skiing snowman right down here with this little ski pole. And I put this in the middle. It's actually not glued in there. I got to thinking, you know, after Christmas you could just pull this out and it could just be like a general wreath. I mean, I know this says Noel, but it's really small and not all that noticeable. And I put the skiing gnome right here. I did not put the bear or any of the other decorations on here. I really felt like this was enough. I did not want a ton of stuff on this wreath. I wanted to leave it kind of simple. So yeah, I really liked these berries, so I wanted to include lots of those, but not a lot of, you know, extra stuff. So I stuck with just the skis, the little snowman, and the gnome. So I'm really happy with it. I love all the dark red and the black in it. I just think it's just so cool. Yeah, it's really neat. I like it. Thank you so